Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. I'm your host, Lisanne Faye, and here before us we have our warden, by Serana, and we are currently in the party camp. And since we're here, we're going to go ahead and take some time to reacquaint ourselves with some of our companions. And since Liliana is right here in front of me, let's start with her.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
You were a traveling minstrel. Do you have tales to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Alright, other
Which
story?
one?
Well, since we just saw the Dalish... Know anything?
I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own.
Well, that didn't last.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
Okay. Let's just move on. Um... Hmm. I was hoping there'd be more conversation there.
Yes?
Was there? Nope. Guess not. Well, let's see. I might have something for you which might cause you to be nicer. Alright, Liliana. Have... that.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know
And
what to say.
that.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say.
Well, you're welcome. Okay, so. Much more approval. Maybe you'll have something more to say now.
Did you always live in an alienage? Was it very terrible?
I wouldn't say I lived in the alienage. You know, considering I grew up in the tower. What do you think?
I have never been to the Denerim alienage, but I hear that life is hard and there is so much squalor. In Orlais, most elven servants live in the homes of their masters, often in great wealth and luxury.
And I bet some are treated cruelly.
Yes, but some humans are treated cruelly too. It is not just elves. A well-trained elven servant is highly valued in Orlais. They are nimble and dexterous, and many people find them pleasing to look at.
What, so I should offer myself to some Orlesian noble?
No, I did not mean it that way. Oh, my words were clumsily chosen. I did not mean to offend. I am sorry.
I am Elven, but more than that, I am a person.
Of course. I am sorry if I implied otherwise. Thank you. You have given me a lot to think about.
Okay. Alright, you know what? Nope. That was an annoying conversation. Severin.
I've a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
What do I intend to do with you? Well, you could go.
Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave?
Well, then I suppose I could use a friend.
Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
Wonderful.
What say you?
Can you teach others to be an assassin?
I could teach others, but not yourself. First, I would need someone who has training as a rogue. That is, unless you would care to spend the years it takes to gain the fundamentals. But if there should be such a person who desires this training, yes, by all means, send them to me. The crows are already furious, no? I shall enjoy tweaking their nose further.
Hey, that's cool.
What say you?
Alright.
By all means.
Do you actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
No, you're probably right.
I often find myself the instrument of fate, ending these lives for one necessity or another. I console myself with the notion that most of them had it coming. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
You know, I think I know what you mean.
There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
Well, you know what? You like your freedom, so why not? You can do whatever you like.
Whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
Fair enough.
What say you?
Still having good conversations, let's just keep this rolling. Questions?
By all means.
Tell me about your adventures.
My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days?
Well, you certainly talk like you've had adventures.
Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics.
How so?
How should I know? I got the impression it involved sex, but then I get that impression about most everything. Odd, really. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning.
And if she didn't try to kill you in return?
Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly.
So you didn't actually kill her?
Not actually, no. I was a bit unimpressed by the development at first. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the Crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around.
Well, except for the mage.
I suppose, but she was dead. She didn't need to be happy. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see.
Probably a wise lesson to learn.
And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days.
Okay. Alright, Alistair. Back over to you.
Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Tell me about the Grey Wardens?
Such as they are.
Oh.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. Something on your mind?
Questions?
Of course.
What changes about you after the joining?
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
You've been a Grey Warden much longer than I have.
You know, I asked Duncan this too. And all I got was, you'll see.
How would I respond to this? So you're saying he wouldn't tell you?
Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
Oof, I don't know how to respond. So it was a joke. I haven't felt anything like that. Oh, do I joke with him? Do I not joke? So it was a joke?
More like an initiation. They all went through it too. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you'd call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight.
Oh,
How is
great.
it for you?
Oof. Nightmares, yeah, I know what you mean.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
What?
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live. Give or take.
Oh, great.
It's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
How cheery.
And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. Well, there you have it.
I understand.
You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
He will be remembered, Alistair. As will the others.
I know. Ending the Blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. I feel like I got you depressed. You're upset. Clearly, I should throw things at you. You like statues?
Is that for me? Really? Wow! Wow!
Yeah, because that's what we learned from...
Is that for me?
Wonders of Thetis.
Really? Wow! Wow!
Okay, what else can I give away? Not sure... Well, I personally know I'm waiting until dialogue comes up before I hand those out. Not here yet, not here yet, not here yet. Oh look, gems. Shale, you like gems.
Ooh, shiny.
There you go. Not here, not here. Alright. So I guess that's kind of it on the gift giving. Hey, Alistair's much happier now. Sell things, talk to people. Let's
You called.
talk. I wanted to discuss something
Speak,
you
then.
mentioned. The fiends in Saharan.
Ours wear the faces of men.
So... That's cryptic, yes, that is.
Darkspawn, abominations, plagues, and storms. Men are far more dangerous than these. One moment of betrayal can bring more ruin than an earthquake. You know this.
Yep. So, you mean traitors?
They are Tal Vashoth, They say they are Grey Ones. True in the knowledge of themselves. They are gaping holes where men used to be. Nothing can fill them.
And what do they want?
I don't know. There was a village in the mountains of Saharan. Farmers. They grew cinnamon and nutmeg trees in perfectly ordered rows. There would always be one person waiting, a foreman, a harvester, rank didn't matter. Often they would say nothing. Simply watch as we worked to examine the empty house, a new one each time, that had once been the home of a colleague, a friend. We always made a point of searching. Now and then a body would turn up in a river eaten by rain and crows. More often we found nothing. Even in the worst parts of the jungle, the villagers would send someone with us to see the tiniest piece of bone or cloth. Anything contained the possibility of their lost friend. Must we speak of this? We could be fighting something.
Another question?
Very well.
Why did the Talvashoth fight you?
Isn't it the nature of a wound to bleed? I have no more answers than you. Why do we fight the Darkspawn? Why do the Darkspawn fight us?
It is so tempting to say that first one. Because, yeah. At this point, all the Darkspawn we've seen, they're very instinct-driven. It's not so much a matter of intelligence and consciousness.
You are. Why do you fight?
To defend people.
In the Antam, we are told of the enemy. Assume he loves as you love, hates as you hate, and fights just as hard as you. It's a lie, of course. But does that matter, so long as you stand and believe you know your enemy? The Talvashoth wish us dead, and we wish to go on living. The point of our war is war.
Other question?
Very well.
Maybe they have a point?
Undoubtedly. They've used it to kill countless people.
You don't think they have any justification?
No, but they don't care what I think.
Fair enough. I didn't mean to offend you.
I have no feelings you can hurt, Warden.
I highly doubt that. Let's go.
As you wish.
Wow. Lots of approval. Awesome. Well, you're happy. You're happy. You're happy. You're not so happy with me. Talk to Shale in a moment, but I have some stuff I need to sell real
If there's
fast.
anything I can do for you, please tell me.
Let me see your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Yay, the discount that isn't really a discount. No one uses crossbows. Okay. So, sell things. Because I've essentially already updated armor. That's actually pretty nice. Right, ceremonial armor, -3 armor. Yeah, let's not deal with that. It's kind of more or less weighing us down. Sell these, and that, and there's a quest involving you, so I don't sell you. Diamonds are just meant to be sold, because I want everything sapphire and lower. Though, not really. Not at the moment. I can deal with selling them. Okay. Okay. We have all of that. Crafting supplies. Death root. A little bit of elf fruit. Some flasks. Some lyrium dust. Alright. Shale.
Ah, I see it found some of the crystals that I told it about. Well done. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide as it is.
Oh, no. They're quite slimming.
It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must have. I think it should find some more as soon as possible. I want to glitter from ear to ear, so to speak.
Yay. Happy Shale.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
Cool. Thanks, Shale.
Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
Well, I'm a mage. And an elf.
Then that must be it. The humans have always spoken about elves being inferior, but obviously this is their own stupidity talking. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
And we wouldn't want that.
Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
Alright, Shale.
It speaks.
Yes. Yeah, you're still with me.
Its journeys are fascinating. I had thought its chances slim, but perhaps I'm even wrong on that point. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go.
No, you're quite helpful.
No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling. It speaks.
I have questions?
It doesn't have better things to do.
How did Wilhelm acquire you?
That part I know, as Wilhelm often bragged about it to whomever was willing to listen to him. He claimed to have found me in the deep roads. I was in the ruins of a Tig, he said, deactivated, with my control rod not far away.
So, do you know where in the deep roads?
No. That secretive bastard refused to tell me. I would ask and ask, but no. He used to say that one day, if I were compliant and didn't talk back at his wife, he would take me there and I could look around myself. Rotten, lying bastard. If I had his head in my hands now, I would squeeze it like a giant lemon. Squish.
Lovely. And so you don't know why you were there?
I think I remember a battle. It was long before, and then there was darkness. Bah, in short, no, I do not remember why I was there. It makes no difference.
And what was Wilhelm doing in the deep roads?
It was a hobby of his, scavenging. One of the reasons he traveled so much is that he was looking for entrances into the deep roads, old places the dwarves had long forgotten. And then he would sneak down and search for magical treasure, before anyone was the wiser.
So, if he hadn't found you...
I wouldn't have had to put up with the twit, and I would be none the wiser. I don't think I was aware while I was there. Not like in the village. Or perhaps I was. Perhaps that was the dark place, and I simply couldn't see anything. How long could even I sit in the darkness and stare out at nothing, never sleeping? Oh, I do not wish to think of that.
Alright, let's move on.
On then.
Woo! Alright, well, that is all the time that I have for this episode. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. And in the meantime, in between time, take care, have fun, happy trails.